The Ravagers had ruled through fear for 3 centuries. They swept through systems like a plague, taking what they wanted, destroying what they couldn't use, and leaving behind nothing but debris and broken civilizations. The Galactic Coalition had tried to stop them. Twice. Both fleets had been reduced to scrap metal, drifting in the void. No one could stand against the Ravagers. Their ships were faster, their weapons more devastating, and their cruelty was legendary. They didn't negotiate. They didn't show mercy. They simply took, and the galaxy learned to hide when their crimson vessels appeared on sensors. The derelict colony ship drifted at the edge of the Epsilon sector, ignored and forgotten. It had been there for 200 years, a relic from humanity's failed first attempt at deep space colonization. The Ravagers had passed it a dozen times, but dead ships held no interest. No resources to plunder, no populations to enslave. They had no idea the ship wasn't dead, just sleeping. Captain Rachel Torres opened her eyes to amber emergency lighting and the insistent beep of the Cryo Bay's emergency revival protocol. Her muscles screamed as she pulled herself from the pod, her mind struggling through the fog of 2 centuries' sleep. "Status report," she croaked, her voice raw. The ship's AI responded, its tone apologetic. "Captain, I apologize for the delay in revival. Primary systems failed during year 43 of the journey. I have been running on backup power, monitoring local communications." "Communications? From whom?" "Everyone, Captain. The galaxy is significantly more populated than our initial surveys indicated. However, we have a situation." The AI brought up holographic displays. Rachel's eyes widened as she absorbed 200 years of galactic history in 30 minutes. The Coalition, the trade routes, the various species humanity had never encountered. And the Ravagers. "They're hitting the Centauri colonies," the AI reported. 17 million civilians. The Coalition has already evacuated their defense fleet. They're leaving them to die. Rachel felt something cold settle in her chest. She moved through the ship, waking her crew one by one. 2,000 men and women who had left Earth expecting to build a new world. Instead, they woke to find themselves in a galaxy that had learned to accept monsters. Humanity had no such education. Within 6 hours, the colony ship's engines roared to life. It wasn't a warship. It was built to carry families, equipment, and hope. But the human engineers worked with desperate efficiency, mounting every mining laser, every construction tool, every piece of equipment that could be weaponized. "We're not soldiers," Lieutenant Commander James Parks said, checking the improvised weapon systems. "No," Rachel agreed. "We're something the Ravagers have never encountered. We're humans who just watched someone abandon 17 million people to die." The colony ship emerged from FDL at the edge of the Centauri system. The Ravager fleet was already there, 30 vessels surrounding the terrified colonies, preparing for the systematic destruction that was their signature. The lead Ravager commander received the transmission with amusement. A single unknown vessel, ancient by their scans, approaching their entire fleet. "Unidentified vessel. You will stand down or be destroyed." Rachel's response was simple. "You have 30 seconds to leave this system." The Ravagers opened fire. What happened next became legend across the galaxy. The humans didn't fight like the Coalition, carefully measured, always calculating acceptable losses. They fought like a species that had clawed its way to the top of a death world food chain. They fought dirty. The colony ship took hits that should have destroyed it, but kept coming. Its improvised weapons tore through Ravager shields with brute force physics that ignored elegant galactic warfare doctrine. When the mining lasers overheated, the humans rammed. When the ramming didn't work, they vented atmosphere to create makeshift missiles from cargo containers. They didn't retreat. They didn't ask for quarter. They didn't stop until the last Ravager vessel was debris. Rachel stood on the bridge, her ship held together by emergency seals and sheer determination. The Centauri colonies were safe. The Ravager fleet was gone. The Coalition fleet arrived 6 hours later to find the humans already conducting repairs. The Admiral's first question was obvious. "Who are you?" Rachel looked at the holographic display, at the coalition forces that had run, at the civilians they had abandoned, at the galaxy that had accepted terror as inevitable. "We're humanity," she said, "and we just woke up." The message spread across the galaxy within days. The Ravagers had terrorized the stars for 3 centuries. It took humans 3 hours to remind everyone that monsters could bleed. The Ravagers never entered coalition space again. The galaxy had a new variable in its equations, a species that didn't calculate acceptable losses, didn't understand strategic retreat, and absolutely refused to let the monsters win. Humanity was awake, and the galaxy would never be the same.